Hello and welcome to The Ladder, a love letter to my sisters in the pew series. This is 18 video series teaching sessions that I'm sharing in this format. And it's based on my book, The Ladder, a love letter to my sisters in the pew. That's available for $9.99 on Kindle and $9.99 in book form and 99 cents in Kindle. And I don't know that that would be something everybody can do, but this format I figured everybody could watch. So it certainly doesn't cover everything, but I wanted to do some teaching sessions in this format so that some of my sisters could hear it here. This one is called She Thinks She's Going Crazy. And yeah, I definitely thought I was going crazy at times. I'm going to start with some of my story, which is on page 14. The first part of the book has some of my story. At times I questioned my own sanity. I lost a favorite dress of mine, and then later I lost a favorite pair of jeans. I knew he didn't like me wearing them. He had told me this before, but they just disappeared and were never found again. Looking back, I think he likely caused them to disappear, but at this time, behavior like this is not something I would have ever contemplated. Sometimes I would ask him about plans he had made previously, and he would say he didn't know what I was talking about. He told me he thought I was losing it. I thought it was him that was losing a grasp on reality. And then page 43. My husband would tell me we never had a discussion when I knew that it had occurred, such as making plans to attend an event and then later denying that the conversation ever happened. When he initially started this behavior, I thought he was losing it. I was a strong girl, and I was the oldest of 6 children, and I grew up in a loving home. Yet over time, doubts about my own sanity started to develop. This just explains that no one is immune to the effects of this. So this term is called gaslighting, which was not a term that I had heard of years ago, but it does apply. And here's the definition. Gaslighting is the subjective experience in which an individual's perception of reality is repeatedly undermined or questioned by another person. So the other person is repeatedly questioning, did you really think that? Did you really say that? And you start doubting your own self. It's originally derived from a 1944 American film called Gaslight, where the gaslighter persistently puts forth a false narrative in order to make someone question their perception of reality. So, not uncommon in these types of relationships. Page 55. Again, it just says, she thinks she's going crazy. It's not uncommon for wives who are married to an abuser to feel like they're going crazy. If the wife can spend some time away from him, she may be able to think, oh, I'm not crazy, I am sane. This is not about me. I find it fascinating that I think this is not a new topic. And this is a verse from Proverbs. It says, drive out the scoffer, and strife will go out, and quarreling and abuse will cease. So I looked up the definition for scoffer, and it says a person who mocks, ridicules, or jeers someone, often with contempt or a sense of superiority. So looking at this verse, drive out, I'm just going to get rid of drive out for a second and say separate. And this doesn't have to be like a separation of your marriage, But what I'm saying is what Scripture is saying is if you will separate yourself from the scoffer, then the strife will go out, and the quarreling and the abuse will cease. So the way to make this stop is to have some kind of a separation, whether that's a physical separation or a relationship separation, some kind of separation. As I said here, if you can spend some time away from him, you may be able to think, oh, I'm not going crazy. It's not about me. So that's what today's lesson's on. And that's all I've got for now. Bye for now. Thanks.